style.
Look, right guard, pure power, clear gel.
It's clear without flaky white stuff.
Right guard, clear gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
ACG means all conditions gear. And all conditions means all conditions. ACG means all conditions gear. And all conditions means all conditions.
Back at McNichols Arena, where moments ago Dana Barris was introduced to a crowd that should reach sellout proportions, but it's early here in the Rockies, and Dikembe Mutombo, who is having an all-around very solid year. Now the starting lineups. First of all, for the 76ers, Willie Burton. Derek Alston gets his first career start tonight. Sharon Wright at center, Dana Barris and Jeff Grayer. And for the Nuggets, Reggie Williams, Rodney Rogers, Mutombo, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, and Jalen Rose, who's now the starter at point guard. Abdul-Rauf going back to the shooting guard spot. John Lucas in his first season as head coach of the 76ers. He, by the way, is also the vice president of basketball operations and the general manager. And there's the man who wears the three hats for the Denver Nuggets, the president, general manager, and head coach.
They're combining a lot of these jobs these days.
Would you want to do that? Can I start some rumors?
No. But I was listening to Del Harris the other evening and on a show, and he talked about the fact when he was general manager of Milwaukee and coach, says he doesn't believe it can work anymore. It's just too hard on one guy. One, you got the problems of contracts, that sort of thing, and then you've got the other side, try to coach him, tell him he's a great guy, you know, play for me hard, and then say all of a sudden, hey, you're not good enough, I can't pay enough money. It becomes too conflicting, I think, very difficult.
Officials are Jake O'Donnell, Bruce Alexander, and Tommy Wood. Philadelphia won the first meeting of these two teams. That was just a week ago, less than a week ago, and they did so by a 95-89 count. Here's Reggie Williams and a quick two for the Denver Nuggets.
That play, tip forward, and Philadelphia very unprepared for that particular tip play. Should not give up that easy a basket on the tip-off. Got to match up.
Bickerstaff starts out with Abdul-Rauf on Dana Barris. Jalen Rose guards Jeff Grayer. And the first foul of the night. Dikembe Mutombo gets the first foul of the evening.
Yeah, Wright catches the ball on the box and makes that quick baseline move, and Mutombo not quite ready for it and got an early foul that I'm sure Bernie's not happy about.
Baseline jumper. Jeff Grayer gets it to fall. Here comes Denver. Quickly across the court.
Yeah, they're looking to up-tempo, but they're not ready for that. You don't just make that change and talk about it and do it in one or two practices. That's a commitment that starts at the beginning of the year and difficult to sustain and difficult to encourage at this point in the season.
They work Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf off the baseline. And here's a loose ball foul called underneath.
Sean Bradley's first personal, the most disqualifications of any player in the NBA, averages the highest of any player, 4.1 fouls per game. He picks up some very, very cheap fouls, as we say.
Here's the jumper. Williams has it for three. 5-2, Denver lead. Philadelphia losing last night by 12. They were actually in the game of 60-all. Here's Denver in transition. Jalen Rose batted away by Bradley. He's averaging just under 3 blocks per game.
Yeah, he's one of the top 5 in the league, and that's one of the things he can do very well. He's going to have to learn how to space himself and not take chances and pick up cheap fouls. He's got enough size. If he just stands in there and uses his size, even with space, he'll do well in that department.
Here's Willie Burton getting a rest. Well, the reason I was so surprised that Sean Bradley got that foul is not that I can't miss him on the floor, but he was not listed as a starter, and I was looking down when they tipped. Sharon Wright was introduced here as the starter, and Bradley then came on. So Bradley did start. He's having a tough year. Here's Rogers. And Sean Bradley was there.
His second foul. He was already to the basket, and there was no reason to try to got that one. And already 2 quick fouls. He split it. He hit him with his body after the swing at the ball, trying to catch it.
Rodney Rogers goes to the free throw line and shoots 2. Rogers is 64% free throw shooter for the season. So
John Lucas he's making a decision here to stay with Bradley, which is going to be kind of interesting because we've played less than 2 minutes in this basketball game.
Well, with 15 foul outs already this season, I don't like his chances of sticking around for a long time.
No, not tonight.
There were, by the way, I think it could be said, trade rumors floating around this building earlier involving Sean Bradley. We were told just before we came on the air that those trade rumors are not true, that Bradley, obviously, he's in uniform here. But a lot of speculation early on that he might be on the trading block. 6-4 is the score down. And the trading deadline is another 45 minutes away. There's another whistle down near the baseline. Jeff Grayer gets this one, number 14. Grayer now in his 6th year in the league.
Yeah, Jalen Rose doing one of the things at point guard. He's so much bigger. He can really get to a position of posting up. I don't know if he's the guy to up-tempo your club, though. I'm not sure that his mentality is such.
Rogers, no good. Mutombo can't hang on. Abdul Rauf gets it, puts it in.
Stuck at the baseline, picked up a loose ball. And he's one of the great shooters in the game. You give him that kind of space and time, he's not going to miss many baskets.
Dana Barros, again, guarded by Abdul Rauf. Bradley calls for it. There's the defensive switch. Bradley takes the jumper. Got it.
Nice pick and roll, and Denver did not handle it very well. Both guys switched on to the ball, leaving Bradley wide open. That's a defensive commitment. That's one you shouldn't even have to talk about.
Rogers, lackadaisical as he makes the crossover. And here's a turnover. It goes to the hands of Philadelphia. 8-6 is the score. Nuggets lead. And Mutombo comes down with a rebound. Denver won big in Bickerstaff's first game here Tuesday night. They won by 38 points. The opposition, the LA Clippers. Gene Littles was 3-13 as the interim coach, having replaced Dan Issel. There's a rebound in the hands of Jerome Harmon, who's on the floor now, number 40. Less than 2 weeks ago, he was a starter in the CBA All-Star game.
Got 2 of them here.
Kevin Pritchard is the other. Grayer. And another foul underneath.
Yeah, Grayer working in the lane instead of going up for the shot, dishes off and helps draw the foul.
8-6 score. We're midway through the first period of play. 8:19 remaining. Dale Allen's getting ready to make an appearance now for the Nuggets. Rejected by Mutombo. Abdul Rauf can't get there. Philadelphia's ball. Ellis will come on now.
Great timing on this block. Jerome thinks he thinks he has the shot off. No way. That's why he leads the league in shot block.
That's 181 now for the season. He recently went over the 1,000 rebound mark. And relatively early in his career. Shot block, not rebound. Basket is good from Jeff Grayer.
Yeah, playing without the knee brace. We haven't seen much of the Sixers this year, but he's had knee problems and played with that brace for a long time.
6 points for Grayer now, 6 of the 8 for Philadelphia. Mutombo. Not much Bradley can do.
Now he just backed him in, worked him, and came up and under. And Bradley, with the 2 fouls, can't afford to pick up that third. Played it very smartly. It's what you have to do under these kind of circumstances.
Cerrone right now on the floor. Number 4, he and Bradley, along with Harmon, Grayer, and Barros. Bradley In and out. Tip no good. Rebound chased down by Harmon. Number 40, Harmon. And the reverse dunk. Sharon Wright.
Sharon Wright has a chance to be a good player in this league. I liked him in the draft, and I think as he gets more conditioning and learns more about the league, he has a chance to be a very good player, either at power forward or backup center.
Rebound in the hands of Dana Barris. And a chance for the 76ers to take the lead. With 6:40 remaining, here's Barris, drives, kicks it out. Harmon with the jumper. Jalen Rose for Denver. Lead pass intercepted by Jeff Grayer.
Now, Jalen Rose, a point guard, cannot, as a point guard, you can't make that kind of pass in the open floor. He had plenty of time to hold the ball and make the break happen.
Jump shot no good from Sharon Wright. And here's Raouf. Now Rose will post up. Basket is good. Dale Ellis.
Got him into the basketball game very early for whatever reason, but he's got him matched up. He figures he can match up with Bradley, surprisingly. An intriguing matchup, but he figures he can use it because of that matchup.
Ball goes off Dana Barris's hand. It'll be Denver to throw it in. Let's take a look.
Back it in, Mutombo up, gets Bradley up. Too easy, and here's Sharon Wright working the same way very quickly and reverses on Mutombo.
Time called, 5:57 remaining first quarter. Nuggets up by 3.
Did you ever wonder what life is like on other planets? Like maybe there's this world where everybody can slam dunk? And everyone gets a Ford Ranger just for being born. Or there's a planet where nothing costs more than $1 and your biggest decision is what color probe to drive. Maybe there's a world where everybody's job is just to go to the beach and you get a Mustang convertible as a company car. Ford. Cool cars for a cool planet.
About 65 miles south of the nearest stoplight, and 2 miles up in the Rocky Mountain sky, you'll find skier's heaven, also known as Telluride Ski Mountain, where the skiing's perfect and the views are even better. And whether you're going to extremes or just going for a lesson, don't go without your Visa card, because at Telluride Ski Mountain, they'll let you take the plunge, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
The night is beautiful, so the faces of my people. The stars are beautiful, so the eyes of my people. Beautiful also is the sun. Beautiful also are the souls of my people. Like this poem, the work of many African Americans has shaped my life. I have been inspired by the achievements of Black Americans in everything from arts and sciences to human and civil rights. February is Black History Month. Take time to learn more about our rich heritage.
Back at McNichols in Denver on a Thursday night. Chuck Daly, let's take a look at that pick and roll.
Yeah, they're going to put Bradley on a post up on Ellis, and it doesn't happen. So he comes over and sets the pick, and we're going to get a pick and roll right here. Bradley setting the pick and roll, rolls out of it. They decide, freeze it right there. He is so wide open. There is no rotation, leaves him wide open for the field goal.
Bradley with a jumper. It's 13-10 right now, and Bradley's going to get a rest playing with 2 fouls. Jalen Rose and Abdul Raouf will inbound for the Denver Nuggets. They lead by 3. Reggie Williams still on the floor along with Dale Ellis and Mutombo for Denver. Harmon has Ellis defensively. Derek Alston, number 21 on the floor now. For Philadelphia, it's off Mutombo. Philadelphia to throw it in.
Yeah, they countered, took Bradley out of the game, giving him roughly 6.5, 7 minutes.
That's the 3rd Denver turnover early in the game. Illegal defense, first call of the night. Second time it's called will be the technical foul.
And Bernie is out of the box. He's forgotten where the coaching box is. Someone will usher him back. He likes the idea that they made a mistake because they were at least aggressive.
But he's well dressed out of the box.
He's doing well.
I like that. I like the shoes. It's in the shoes. There's a turnover again for Philadelphia. Dale Ellis has it. Reggie Williams blows by Harmon and gets the basket.
Nobody back on transition defense. The whole team was on that side of the half court, but no
nobody sealed off him driving. Great play by Williams. Williams now has 7 points, and the Nuggets are up by 5. And Jeff Grayer is fouled. He'll shoot free throws. John Lucas going to his bench.
Very, very difficult to handle people who take the ball to the basket. Here's an example right here. Here's Ellis with the ball, gets it to Williams. He comes down, he sees very quickly they're not alert defensively and takes it all away. Anybody that does that, the more you do that, the more difficult it is for your transition defensive club.
Grayer gets the first of 2. He's an outstanding free throw shooter at 82%. Willie Burton comes on now for Philadelphia.
Willie traded earlier this year from the Miami Heat, and he's a project of John Lucas's. Against the Heat, he had 53 one particular night, but in the last 5-6 games, he has really, really struggled.
He's hitting 29% over the last 6. It's the worst shooting slump of the season for him, and one of the worst in his career. 15-11 as Grayer gets them both. Reggie Williams takes it easy again.
Well, the Sixers trying to come with a two-man trap, and if that's going to happen, Williams, these people are going to have a field day getting to the basket because the 76ers have no shot blockers in their lineup.
Raouf doing a good job on Barris early on. 17-11 now with 4:34 to go in the opening quarter. Derek Alston, number 21, second-round draft choice from Duquesne this year. Let's go back at the other end and take a look at the drive by Reggie Williams. Fouls on Robert Pack.
He catches it very quickly, gets right in the lane. Nobody there rotating, no one to get a hand up to try to block the shot, and that's going to create problems for the Sixers if they're going to trap and leave the middle of their defense that open.
Grayer back at the line.
Obviously, the big problem that the Philadelphia 76ers are going to have tonight, missing a lot of people to try to stay in the game offensively. And I think tonight they need to slow the tempo down as much as they can to try to keep the game under control. They run up and down. They don't have enough people.
Robert Pack. He was in a doghouse with Gene Little as the coach. He came on and had a double-double the other night. First significant minutes he played in about 5 games. Here's Ellis. Another 3.
I saw Bernie talking to him after their shoot-around today, and evidently decided to give him more time and come with him much earlier, and it's paid off for the Denver Nuggets.
He is, no surprise here, the leading three-point shooter for the Denver Nuggets, one of the best ever in this league. There's a rejection from Mutombo. Loose ball, Reggie Williams. Kicks it back to Ellis for 3.
Ellis really feeling it. If he gets it, he's going to let it go. He doesn't know how many minutes he's going to stay on the floor anyway. Might as well get the shot.
Derek Alston brings it across. Now Grayer. Here's Willie Burton. And the foul's going to be called on Reggie Williams.
You notice how many times when people take people off the dribble, they get fouled. If I were a young basketball player, not only would I be working on my shooting, but I would be working on just this very thing, getting in the lane, because people don't want to move their feet. They want to reach, grab, and hold, and you can get to the foul line all night long.
Willie Burton. He said something in an elevator today, Chuck, that I can really relate to. I happened to be with him coming down, and the bellman was on trying to make sure that all the 76er luggage had been unloaded and out of the rooms. And he said to Willie Burton, "Sir, what room were you in?" And Willie Burton said, "Man, I have no idea."
I've been there.
I have too.
You standing up these hotels, you forget which room you're in, what's number. Mine, the 18th floor today, or the 13th floor.
He had no clue where he'd spent the night.
Well, they got in here. They got in here about 3:15 last night, which doesn't make for a real alert basketball the next day.
No, and they get home at 3:30 tomorrow morning.
That's the kind of schedule you live on today. With chartered planes, that's the schedule you live on in the NBA.
Sometimes it's not all that glamorous, huh?
The money's good.
Yes, I've heard that. On their end of it.
Right.
3:09 to go first quarter. 2014 Nuggets. Raouf short. Rebound.
The Nuggets getting some terrific shots.
Barris gets it for 3.
He's very effective when he's coming down the floor with the dribble, gets in that that rhythm for that three-point shot.
Robert Pack, prone to turnovers, but when he plays in control, very effective, great speed.
Very aggressive defensive player, but you're right. He had 3 turnovers to shoot around this morning without defense.
Barris for Philadelphia, 2017, 2:25 to go. Willie Burton. Matumbo with a rebound.
So intimidating in the lane there. It's intimidating at least 4 shots.
That layup short from Pack. Here comes Grayer, gives it off to Barris. Dale Ellis doing the defensive job now on Dana Barris. Williams. Timeout call. 2017 is the score. 2:02 to go. First quarter.
The new Ford Contour has taken off, and the compliments are flying.
The balance between ride and handling is unparalleled.
You might easily mistake it for a much more expensive European sports sedan.
No other American car in this class has ever driven like the Contour V6.
Top marks to the Ford V6.
One thing is certain, Contour is an excellent world car.
The totally new Ford Contour, well equipped for just $14,670.
There's a place where the humidity can be so thick you can practically cut it with a knife. And spaghetti sauce flies through the air with wild abandon. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we put Dutch Boy kitchen and bath paint through over 70 tests to be sure it resists moisture, peeling, and even staining. All to make sure that when you buy Dutch Boy, you're not just getting a paint that looks beautiful. You're getting a paint that lasts. We guarantee it. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Friday night NBA scouting report. If the Bulls stop three-point champ Glenn Rice, Miami still has slam dunk champion Harold Miner. Bulls versus Heat tomorrow night at 8 on TNT.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Back at McNichols' shot, let's take a look at Philadelphia on defense.
Watch Sharon right here. Gets the ball stripped. Ellis picks it up, and then he makes a pass to Reggie Williams right there. But let's hold it right there. Look at this head. Back turn to the ball. Also, likewise, semi-turn, but not looking at the ball. Not looking at the ball and looking in the wrong direction. And you'll see what happens and why transition defense, you have to see the ball and get back. All the way to the hole, and most of the 76ers not back yet.
2017, 2 minutes remaining first quarter. Jeff Grayer, Tim Perry, who hasn't played a lot recently, on the throw out for the 76ers. Stiff forces the alteration of the shot there defensively for Denver. Tom Hammonds has also come on the floor. Here's Pat. And there's Matumbo.
Yeah, he ran the floor very well. Talking to Bernie this morning, Bernie Bickerstaff, about Matumbo. Felt he runs naturally. Doesn't have to be prodded to run, and that will help in their running game.
Dana Barris guarded now by Robert Pack. Laouf is getting a rest. They post up Dale Ellis. Willie Burton for 2.
Well, he squared him up and wasn't concerned about any shot blocking problems.
Well, he had 21 last night in Los Angeles, but that came on 8 of 24 from the field. Long night.
Obviously, he's going to get it up.
Brian Stiff misses. And here comes Dana Barris again.
Dana, one of the Iron Men in the league, averaging over 40 minutes.
Held only 3 points thus far in the ball game. And he's having a really terrific year. Here's Perry.
Isolated Matumbo outside, took him to the basket, and was able to score on him. They'll probably do more of that. Bernie Bickerstaff getting that frown on his face.
Interesting, he said he wanted a recommitment to defense. There are some who think they haven't played a lot of that here in Denver. Over the years, that reputation really began for the Nuggets. Well, heck, if you want to go way back to the old ABA days.
Absolutely. I guess Larry Brown was a coach at one point, and of He had his great clubs here, running clubs here in Denver. Was very successful.
Willie Burton for three.
Maybe it's one of those nights for Willie. Maybe those 3:30 calls and getting to bed, maybe they help your game.
Loose ball, turnover. And the 76ers with a chance to come back now and take the lead. That is the fourth Denver turnover in the first quarter. Cliff Livingston coming on now. The 11-year vet for the Denver Nuggets. Pack with a steal on the line.
Still got 4.3, enough time to get off some kind of shot, depending if Barros can get it. He has to get it, though.
In order to now. Yep. Lets it go off the glass and no good.
He did catch glass, though.
We have reached the end of the first at McNichols Arena. Reggie Williams with a fine first quarter to lead the Denver Nuggets with 9 points. We're tied at 24 from 5,287 feet.
Every Sunday, TBS presents Movies for Guys Who Like Movies.
Really?
This Sunday, Oscar winner Tom Hanks is an ordinary guy living an ordinary life until they moved in. The Bird.
There's got to be some other explanation for this.
Movies for Guys Who Like Movies. Sunday, 7 Eastern, only on TBS.
Got anything to eat? Hi, I'm Face.
So...
Ooh,
What are you? I think that we could use a snack. You need to relax. I'm unarmed. I can't do anything. I love your hair. No, not a swirly. How about a little trip to the kitchen?
Oh, hiya, Joe. You got anything to eat? I got these Eagle snacks.
Eagle snacks. Eagle.
Eagle snacks.
What do you feed your face?
At my school, you can't make mistakes. I get hungry, I reach for Snickers.
Roasted peanut, milk chocolate, caramel. Snickers satisfies.
We built this jump and flooded it to introduce Goodyear's all-new Wrangler Aqua Tread for light trucks and sport utilities. Two aqua channels sweep water away. You get the sheer rugged toughness of a Goodyear Wrangler and the outstanding wet traction of a Goodyear Aqua Tread. The all-new 50,000-mile Wrangler Aqua Tread, only from Goodyear.
Back at McNichols Arena, look at the patches on Rocky. This is just a moment ago. Now, the reason the poor guy had the patches, sometimes things don't go well. He was trying to make a dramatic entrance before the game and shouldn't have done it.
Could be the play of the game. I may have had a player or two like that somewhere along the line. They made a lot of money, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. Vern Lundquist, Chuck Daly on a Thursday night from the Mile High City, tied at 24. Both teams trying to shake the doldrums of falling on their faces too many times this year. Philly will inbound. Derek Alston, Dana Barris. Got Tim Perry still on the floor. Jerome Wright is back along with Willie Burton. Those are the five that are on the floor now for Philadelphia. Ryan Stith, who recently lost his starting job as the shooting guard. And there's another Philly turnover. That's number 5.
The Nuggets came out of the timeout with a matchup press, trying to keep the 76ers out there, in which they did up to 13 seconds and forced eventually a turnover because the Sixers had to hurry.
Ryan Stith posting up, gets the pass from Robert Pack. Comes Ellis. Good job defensively. Pack. Foul called. Livingston will shoot free throws.
Played great defense for 21 seconds. It's so frustrating. And then a guy makes a simple cut on the weak side. Nobody doesn't pay attention and not only gives him a shot, but fouls him on the play.
Foul goes on Tim Perry. That's his first.
Yeah, the Sixers 9 for 22 in the first quarter, 41%, and Nuggets 10 for 23, shooting 43%. Neither club burning it up offensively.
Livingston now 7 of 22 for the line for the season, and that's fairly rare for Cliff. Back-to-back free throws. He is not a good free throw shooter, but it gives Denver a 2-point lead once again.
Cliff hasn't been getting a lot of time with this club, but evidently under the new administration, they're going to take a longer look at it.
Tim Perry, Dana Barris, long three-pointers off the front rim. Livingston chases down the long rebound. Robert Pack in transition. Settles it down. Tom Hammonds. Ryan Stiff. Hammonds, fadeaway jumper, good.
Very active around the court. Not necessarily a shooter, but a scorer. Very active, very athletic.
This is really the second 5 on the floor now for the Denver Nuggets. They're up by 4, 28-24. Livingston with the foul.
Yeah, the Sixers went to the pick and roll, and they double-teamed it, forced it out to half court, actually bumped him over the line, forcing the official to make a call.
Do you get the sense, talking to Bernie Bickerstaff this morning, that he plans on coaching for a while?
I really do, and I was surprised because I thought truly he was finished with coaching. I thought he was so upset when he left Seattle. But right now, he seems to be, I used the word invigorating. I guess that's as good a word as any. But he looks like he may enjoy it. I think he likes the fact it's a good young club that has some real upsides to it, particularly in the West. We have some clubs that are a little bit older.
And, of course, LaFonso Ellis out for the year with a sports fracture. There's a blocking foul down in the lane. Willie Burton will go to the free throw line. Ryan Stiff called for the foul.
Yeah, this is one of those tough calls that make it, here he's taking it right, going in. Stiff was semi-moving in, but that's a tough one for the official. That's where the block and charge call becomes so difficult. And nobody, you can put the two coaches in the room, run it over and over and over, and neither one will agree with the official, ever.
As in eternally.
Yes, right. Tommy Whittier's smiling. He knows it. He said, I had to make the call.
There's LaFonso Ellis. Saw him. He was on the floor during practice this morning shooting. They don't think, though, that he'll be back. They gave him an MRI today just to see what kind of progress he's making in recovering from the injury.
Yeah, Bernie Bickerstaff does not want to shake this club up without LaFonso Ellis and find out exactly where they are. And I think with him, you know, they're a dangerous, dangerous club. They need a piece or two.
Hammonds. Nice play. 30-26. 14 points off the Denver bench now. Sharon Wright is fouled.
He was literally sandwiched in there. It looked like one of those passes in the secondary in an NFL football game.
Mutombo and Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf come back on the floor. Livingston goes to the bench, as does Tom Hammonds.
Tom Hammonds played very, very well for in a limited stint.
Hammonds leads with 6 points. That shot from Sharon Wright too short. Here's Robert Pack. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Dale Ellis.
Great delivery. Took it to the baseline. Could have tried to lay it up. Decided to kick it out. Kicked it out to the right guy. Sensational shooter.
Dana Barris still with only 3 points in the ballgame. He's averaging 21. Pick and roll, Sharon Wright. Rejected. Here's Ellis. Billy gets it back. Oh, my goodness.
He semi-got it blocked. And Bernie is hollering to the troops, let's keep pushing the ball. Let's keep the pressure on. Get the ball up court.
Chuck, you brought teams in here. I know you're an advocate of up-tempo basketball because of the altitude.
Yeah, I think if you're going to play in Denver, you definitely got to do it. You're going to run a lot of games, even if you're not quite as talented. We always used to substitute quicker and more often just try to handle the altitude because there is a little bit of difference.
That was Pack who missed the layup. I beg your pardon. Yes, it was. And here's Dana Barris again. Rauf with defensive responsibility. There's a pick and roll. Willie Burton looks for Sharon Wright. Back to Walks in on Mutombo. Takes it over Mutombo for 2. Sharon Wright out of Clemson, rookie, averaging 11 points per game, number 4. By and large, replaced Sean Bradley as the starter this year. Mutombo back to Stiff. Strong pass down to the baseline. 7:40 to go first half. Pack short. Gets his own rebound.
Very active and extremely strong. Second shots, getting to the basket, even getting bumped. Timeout, 76ers.
You think the shirt police are going to get over Robert Pack?
A fine is coming.
He's got that shirt well out.
Platoon leader after the game here on TBS.
In the U.S., there are over 200 million bumps, potholes, and cobblestones. In the Lexus ES300, there are over 96 systems and components designed to isolate vibrations. 200 million versus 96. Sounds fair. The newest Lexus ES300. Let others follow.
Bottom of the 7th. Mattingly at bat. 1 out. Runner on 3rd. Here's the pitch. Mattingly hits it deep to right center.
I got it.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
With the Nuggets lead 36-30, and they've gotten there with the help of Dale Ellis.
Yeah, this play. Look how squared up his shoulders are. Squared up to the basket. And here's another look. Look at his shoulders. Look at his feet. How squared up he is. Good lift. Good knee bend. How about Sharon right here? Look at this play. Takes it right to Mutombo and goes right through Mutombo's hand for the dunk. You're not going to see that very often.
No, I should think not. Well, the shirt police can... Well, no, they can't completely rest. Robert Pack started to put the shirt back in and then said, nah, heck with it. So it's half in, half out.
It's partial.
That's only half a bar. Bradley back to the floor and misses the pass. It was a little too strong.
They made a tough cut and a tough angle for the pass.
Of course, the Philadelphia bench is on the floor. The starters are all back in Philly. Jeff Malone has missed 29 games this year. Clarence Weatherspoon, they've lost their top 2 rebounders. Scott Williams out with a knee from last night, and then B.J. Tyler. So they're hurting.
Shooting 38% for the night. Not enough when you're a visiting team.
Sean Bradley picks up the foul. That's number 3.
He spends very little time on the floor, obviously.
The first. We'll take a look when they get minutes out of him.
Yeah, 30-plus minutes. They're 11 for 12, under 30 minutes, 4 for 25. And look at the difference in the field goal shooting percentage. But he's got to learn. It's time after 2 years. This is a year and a half now since it's been late. How to stay on the floor.
Is it just exuberance, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I don't quite understand. I don't know if he just doesn't understand what his size is and what he has to do. How about that block by Mutombo?
Block from behind, Reggie Williams, and he got scratched in the eye. But Robert Pack has it now. Here's Brian Stiff. Oh, good strong move, and he'll go to the free throw line.
This is why in the playoffs no one wants to play the Denver Nuggets. When you take a look at Mutombo, watch this block. Watch this block. That's timing. That's what Bradley has to learn, when to go up and not get his hands on someone else. And then on the defensive end, what a job he's doing on the backboard. That's why they were so dangerous in the playoffs last year. A team that was 42-40 and takes Utah to 7 games.
Brian Stitt misses the first of 2. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Chuck Daly and I will be selecting the Budweiser Player of the Game. That's coming up much later on. Bradley and Burton go to the Philadelphia bench. Sharon Wright is back on the floor now for the 76ers. Dana Barros. Brian Stitt misses. 37-30, a 7-point Denver lead. Nice touch pass. But there's Mutombo with another block.
Another block or partial block and intimidation. And they're going the other way.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Is that picture perfect?
Those are killers.
39-30. Abdul Rauf with the last basket. What a quick release. There's the double from Stitt. Leaves Burton open, and he shoots an air ball. Go back and take a look at Mutombo again. Watch this block.
Jalen Rose kicks it quickly. He knows where that three-point line is and loves it.
Jalen Rose at the point. He's been the starter for the last 5 games at that spot. Rauf moving over to his more natural shooting position. At the shooting guard, illegal defense, that's the first called against Philadelphia. So 1 on either team.
Yeah, the Nuggets are playing, I think, very aggressive offensively, more so than we saw them here in the past. And I think the second half of the season, or the latter part of this season, they're going to play a little bit better.
There's the save by Rauf. Back to Jalen Rose.
The difference in this game is 6 blocks to 2. The 9-point difference coming off of breaks out of Mutombo's blocks.
Now Mutombo on offense. Brian Stitt. Rebound. Here comes Philly. Dana Barros. 39-30, largest lead of the game.
Philly's coming down. They don't have anything. They have a difficult time getting into something offensively.
Why so? Any ideas that Denver defense?
Well, I think they don't. We've got a lot of strange people on the floor. Right. They don't play together a lot. There, they took advantage of the pick and rolls. One of the things they can do, if they're going to double, they should be take the double team, throw ahead, and inside, they're going to get some very easy shots.
39-32 is the score with 4:50 to go in the first half of play. Brian Stitt, Sharon Wright with a foul. John Lucas is going to go back to his bench. Boston leading Orlando at the half by 5. New York over Sacramento by 5. And Atlanta unloading on Dallas tonight by 17 in the blue. Brian Stitt shooting 2, gets the first. Greg Graham has come on for the first time tonight now. Number 20 for Philadelphia.
Played for Bobby Knight, Indiana. Draft choice last year, late draft choice. Started the previous game, coming late tonight.
Pick and roll, Dana Barros. Mutombo gets back. They don't get the pass in quickly enough to Sharon Wright. And off the glass, the basket good from Jeff Grayer.
They can really get scores out of that kind of action all night. If they'll go to pick and roll, throw ahead, and inside. Both examples we've just seen, they're wide open in there, and Denver's having a tough time playing.
Grayer with 10 points now, first 76er in double figures. Foul called on Sharon Wright. Let's go back and look at Philly offense.
Terrific pass out of the double team, and crafty enough to get it up with his left hand.
Mutombo will go to the free throw line. Now this some thought, Chuck, that if they go back to an up-tempo game, a more up-tempo game, will that remove him from the offense?
Well, he's not going to. Bernie said to us that he'll be able to run and stay in. I don't think so. And he was unhappy earlier in the year because he was not getting a lot of shots. One of the things, if you're going to run and he's going to be the shot blocker and the rebounder, then you're going to have to set him up and get him the ball and get him some shots. And if I were the coach, I would do it early and get it out of the way. But you've got to try to appease him a little bit if he's going to do all that dirty work.
Yeah, early in the season, he was averaging 4 shots a day. Yeah, he's averaging 4 blocks as well, but he's getting 4 shots a game. There's a turnover. Jalen Rose. That one was on the money. The follow helped Rodney Rogers after Williams missed the layup. And we're into double digits with the lead.
Yeah, John Lucas got to look for it. He's got to be thinking about now. We're going to go pick and roll. Took it.
Williams on Sharon Wright. There was Mutombo to help affect the shot, though he didn't block it. This one's saved by Tim Perry. And it's going to be a shot clock violation. And the coach, general manager, and vice president of basketball operations disagreed with that.
He wanted a little more. John Lucas wanted a little more time on the clock.
45-34, 3:35 to go, first half. Turnovers 8-5 now. Denver not a good team at forcing turnovers. So that's a little bit of an out of the ordinary statistic.
And Philadelphia.
Right, exactly. Williams.
Got to take a bad shot. They're going to have to get a timeout and try to get this thing under control. I don't know what John is talking to the player. He wants a 20.
Well, he's yelling at Jake O'Donnell and asking about a foul at the offensive end of the court.
Well, he's not going to have much to say to his team during his timeout because he's spending it all with Jake. And Jake will very quietly listen and ignore because the play is over.
Been there? John Lucas will not win this argument. Watch Denver with the fast break just a moment ago.
Yeah, they picked the ball off, and Jalen Rose made a great pass. He saw Reggie Williams streaking on the right side. Here comes Reggie himself bringing it out on a power dribble. And when a forward could do that, not only that, he takes it all the way to the basket. He don't even have to give it up because he gets no defense, not let alone token defense. He gets no defense.
Denver 8 of 13 in this quarter now, and the Sixers have gone cold. They are 4 of 17.
Yeah, they're going to have to get Dana Barros back in the game if they're going to be effective, and there he is. And he doesn't have it.
Abdul Rauf gets it back to Reggie Williams. Well, you can tell he's in some kind of groove. And it's a 50-34 ball game. 7 of 7 for Reggie Williams tonight. He gave up his captaincy of this ball club about a month ago. Said he just didn't like the way things were going.
Yeah, well, I think at the time he wasn't getting a lot of time. He may want it back though if things go well.
Right. Hey, Bernie.
Yeah, really.
Halftime. Well, Brian Stith is the captain now. Jalen Rose, Reggie Williams, Abdul Rauf, Rodney Rogers, and Mutombo on the floor. Abdul Rauf. And the rebound, Tim Perry. 2 minutes to go, first half. Greg Graham, number 20, works the pick and roll with Tim Perry. Sharon Wright, number 4, calling for it.
Right now, the 76ers need to go to something where they can get a good shot on player, not depend on one-on-one ability, because here's what's happening when they do it. You've got 4 on 3 or 4 on 2 at the outside.
Jalen Rose was going against air then. 52-36. This does not have the feel of a playoff game.
No.
Right. foul call. Jump ball. It is a jump ball.
John Lucas wanted a foul. 4 straight possessions. He's now out on the floor. You better be careful.
Now let's look and see what you think.
Got possession of the ball right there. Got a hand on it. Pretty good.
Pretty good call.
Yeah, pretty good call. I mean, he had it for a long time.
Time has been called. Nuggets by 16.
30 seconds to shoot as many baskets as they can.
TBS NBA Thursday is brought to you by Lexus and by Nike.
Yeah, you've seen it all. Done it all. Pretty much got it all figured out. But have you got what it takes to be a mountain man? All it takes are the 2 cool beers of the mountain man. Smooth Bush beer, easy drinking Bush Light. So, be a mountain man. All you gotta do is head for the mountains.
The 1995 Lexus Coupe. After all, you only go around once.
I got a foul.
Foul?
Right here.
It wouldn't have been a foul if you made the
First one
shot.
I've called, man. Come on. Still game point. Okay, you ready? What is this, your mother coming to get you in here? See that? In the NBA, some guy starts talking about your mama. You don't listen up. You stay right here. My mother, my father, my dog, my brothers and sisters. I'm all about the game. Baby, you better get hungry. You're not going to be there with me.
1:16 to go before halftime. They come out at a tender age here in the Mile High City, and they're enjoying the fact the Nuggets are up by 16 right now. Coming up at halftime, the Reebok halftime report. Fred Hickman and Vic Versace in our Atlanta studios. Scores and highlights from around the league, including the Magics and Celtics, the Kings and the Knicks, plus an update on the trade deadline that is just about here, not already passed. That's all coming up on the Reebok halftime report.
Barros is 1 for 6 in this game, and he's going to have to do a little bit better job of scoring to try to keep this thing close and keep them in the basketball game. Sixers for the game, shooting 33%, Nuggets 51%. But that's because they've been able to get blocks, steals, and been able to get out and run a little bit.
John Lucas is still on the floor. I think he thought there had been a foul call, and now he's realizing that there's a jump ball. Weatherspoon comes on, and Dale Ellis leaves. John is not a happy camper right now.
No, they wanted the Tumbo had moved in there. He thought he was going to get in a jump ball situation. And John says, this won't work.
It comes down to the hands of the 76ers. Willie Burton, Greg Graham. Another turnover. At the other end, Jalen Rose.
The Nuggets are playing very well this evening. Playing good basketball, working hard defensively, getting steals. Obviously, the 76ers, not a whole club, need some help. They got to get healthy.
Denver 7 games under 500 with a 22 and 29 mark. Philadelphia 15 and 38. There's a jumper from Jeff Grayer.
This is the kind of game, though, John Lucas has got to keep his club focused, keep them involved in trying to run their offense, forget the score because they're undermanned, but and the other guys got to make their minutes count, guys that don't usually get quite so many minutes.
Rose from Raouf.
That was nice basketball. You saw 2 good basketball plays, and Jalen Rose's ability to catch the ball, push it up, tells you what kind of basketball player innately he is.
Foul on Jalen Rose. You know, Bernie Bickerstaff said he thinks he is the future at point guard. Questions?
I have some questions. As well as he might understand the game, I want to see it when there's a lot of pressure on him. I want to see him set it up and run a club. Of course, no rookie does that well. And then I want to see the speed to penetrate and go by people. I I'm not sure I see that yet. Obviously, he could play the position. I don't know if he can play it. And I think everybody starts to grade people according to Magic as a point guard. And I don't think necessarily that always happens.
Sharon Wright goes to his right, misses the jumper. At the other end, the feed from Reggie Williams to Cliff Livingston.
And Reggie Williams making another great play by penetration, bringing the ball out on the power dribble and fishing it off.
Willie Burton, no basket. Oh, could they have used that? A 17-4 run to end the half, and the bench for Denver outscored the 76ers bench 25-4. Been a tough first half for John Lucas and the Philadelphia 76ers. Back to Atlanta with Fred and Dick right after this.
Get the inside stuff Saturdays.
Check it out.
What could possibly be as precise as the tolerances within one of the finest Swiss watches available? How about some of the tolerances within the engine and suspension of one of the finest automobiles available? The newest Lexus ES300. Let others follow.
I don't ask anyone to do anything I don't do. You do your job, I'll do mine. Short, baggy, I've seen it all. How many times do I have to tell you guys to put this stuff in the hat? I think this stuff cleans itself. Of course, a lot of the younger guys come to me. Okay, gentlemen, I think you know what to do. You guys remember tube socks? I'm a caring kind of guy. I still get calls from some of the old guys.
A brilliant idea never starts out brilliant. It starts out ridiculed. Because it's different and people haven't seen anything like it. Be unreasonable. Insist that it can be done. Show them how. This is the software that helps you show them.
When I get thirsty, I reach for Coke and I drink. I get thirsty, I reach for Coke and I drink. When I'm thirsty, I Coca-Cola. Oh, hey.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok.
Hi, everybody. That's half the story. The Denver Nuggets leading the wounded Philadelphia 76ers 58-38. Welcome to the Reebok Halftime Report. I'm Fred Hickman along with Dick Versace. And Dick, the big news tonight with the trade deadline coming and going at 9 p.m. Eastern time is no news.
Well, we talked about it. It's very difficult to trade, and I'm not that surprised.
No major trades to report in the NBA, but we do have a lot of other action to talk about as far as game action concerned tonight. Let's get you up to speed on the rest of that. Now, you know, the last time on the floor, the retooling Boston Celtics absolutely rocked the Phoenix Suns. D. Brown with a 41-point game, a career high. Well, tonight, Boston drawing another premier club in the Orlando Magic. They play this one in Hartford, which, of course, is Boston's home away from home. Horace Grant playing the first 30 seconds of the game, but then his back flared up. He had to sit down.
Well, look at Penny Hardaway went inside to Shaq, and Shaq in traffic, facial, 28 in the first half.
How about Sherman Douglas? The old pick-and-roll play, as old as basketball itself. Dino Raja, who had 21 in the first half. Now here, Brian Shaw finds the big fella, Shaquille O'Neal, who seems to like the Hartford Civic Center just fine. So your score from Hartford right now, pretty close ball game. Boston leading Orlando 76-70. Could they knock off another big-time team tonight? Now to New York, the Knicks hosting a Sacramento team. Jerry Rice, who's the guy that was pretty wide open in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but watch one of my favorite guys, Derek Harper, Dunkle Doodle Dandy inside, Charles Smith.
See, wide open, wide open. Now, Anthony Mason spins by Michael Smith, gets the layup to go. And then still in the second quarter, look at Bobby Hurley. Only his second start of the year. Spud Webb out with a groin injury. finds Mitch Rock Richmond for the tough move through some heavy traffic right there. And right now your score, a 9-point game. The New York Knicks leading the plucky Sacramento Kings. To Atlanta for the Hawks and the Mavs. Jason Kidd out tonight with a sprained left ankle, not directing traffic, Dick.
Mookie, lend me your comb. How about a steal? Looking for you plastic man!
That's a comic book guy. Anyway, the Hawks on an 11-0 run right there. And here's Steve Smith taking the last shot of the half, nails the three-pointer at the buzzer. So Atlanta was up big at halftime and continues to play big in the fourth quarter, 85-66 your score right now. Houston, the Rockets, and the Pistons are underway there. It's early on, but the Rockets leading 38-26 in the second quarter. Robert Horry is back off the injured list and playing for Houston tonight. And as we mentioned, Dick, of course, the trade deadline has come and gone, and Scottie Pippen has come and stayed. What happened in Chicago and elsewhere when the Reebok halftime report continues?
In the preseason, my back hurts. My arms hurt. My legs hurt. My brain hurts. Even my teeth hurt. But come the regular season, it's all worthwhile. Because I get to hurt right back.
History teaches primordial perspiration shouldn't mess with one's style. Thus, Right Guard Pure Power Clear Gel. It's clear without flaky white stuff. Right Guard Clear Gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
I just left the boys in planning, and Long John Silver's is gonna give America our batter-tipped fish, chicken, and fries for $1.99, plus a great price on 4 delicious combination platters.
The other day I get in my car, it won't start. No small problem, right? Well, I figure it's the battery, so I go down to the AutoZone and I tell him what I need. The guy says to me, let's check your old one first. It might not be the problem. Turns out he was right. All I needed was a new battery cable. Talk about saving money. Now you tell me, would another parts store done that? They made sure I got exactly what I needed. Now I'll remember that. Believe me, I will.
In our rolling ball products, the ink will remain at its density, at its color level, until there is no ink left. And that's another wonderful innovation in our products.
We flooded this jump to introduce Goodyear's new Wrangler AquaTread for light trucks and sport utilities. 2 aqua channels sweep water away for outstanding wet traction. The 50,000-mile Wrangler AquaTread, only from Goodyear.
And the Reebok halftime report continuing now with our score out in Denver. The Nuggets leading the Sixers 58-38. And Dick, a lot to talk about trades before we got into the show this evening. The trade deadline went at 9 o'clock Eastern time. No major trades to report. And the big news is, I guess, Scottie Pippen's still a member of the Chicago Bulls.
Well, I think there's a lot of relieved people. I know that when you are a guy like Scottie who really puts it all out on the floor, lays it out, you don't like having things hang up in the air like they have been. And then, of course, for Phil Jackson, you know, from a coaching standpoint, I think he's really happy that the 23rd came and went, and he still has Scottie Pippen because he can help him win games. He leads this team in 6 different categories.
Well, now at least Phil Jackson knows what he'll have to deal with the rest of the way. Scottie Pippen is going to have to stay put in Chicago at least until draft day. Now, Tuesday, head coach Phil Jackson talked about Pippen's mindset now and his approach to the way he plays the game.
At this time, I don't think Scottie has any problem at all with his players or with the coaching staff or performing or doing the job. I think his allegiance and his loyalty is in question, and he stated that. The thing I think that's, been difficult is that he's a leader in one regard and then not a leader in another. He's a leader on the court, but emotionally, perhaps he can't give the same leadership that he could give 2, 3, and 4 years ago. And I think that's maybe part of our faltering here a little bit as we go through it. This is part of maybe the commitment that each other has to have for one another that bonds teams together and makes them winners.
Dick, the guy's mindset, I'm talking about Scottie Pippen right now, it's got to be a little bit fragile. He's labored so hard to try to make a trade happen for himself. How is this going to affect his performance the rest of the season?
He's a very much of a professional, and I think Phil Jackson is right on top of it. He's a very bright guy, and I want to tell you something. It's a situation where Scottie Pippen will lay it all out like he always does.
Well, right now we have Bulls Vice President of Basketball Operations, Jerry Krause, on the telephone line. Jerry, thank you for joining us, and tell me this. What does this situation do for your basketball team, not being able to pull off the trade?
Well, Fred, we think we've got a good basketball team, and what it does is we now know who's going to be here. We now know what we have to do the rest of this year, and we're going to go on about our business.
Have you had a chance to speak with Scottie since this whole situation unraveled tonight?
No, there's been no. There's never any reason to talk to a player in a situation such as this. I haven't talked to Scottie or to any of our other players. I've been busy on the phones and doing what I had to do as a general manager.
Jerry, Dick Versace, I think that I believe Scottie has 3 years left on his contract. How does this affect your plans to rebuild the team?
Well, Dick, obviously there's no player in the history of this franchise, with one exception, the young man that wore number 23 all those years, that couldn't be traded. But we did not get an offer that we felt would make us trade Scottie Pippen. And we've got a good, solid basketball team. We think that we're capable of doing a lot of things. We've played extremely well on occasion, and then we've struggled on occasion. So what it'll be up to us now to do is play with a consistency that we think we're capable of playing. We're going to find out just how consistent we can be, and we've been a very good team at various times during this year. So as far as that goes, we've got Scottie's a great player. I'm sure he's going to give 110%, as he always has. He is a very responsible young man, and he's going to do what's right for he and his teammates.
Jerry Krause, thank you very much for taking time out with us on a very busy night, I'm sure, for you. We appreciate it. And we will be back with more of the Reebok Halftime Report right after this. Stay with us.
Chances are it will outlast your car and your furnace and your roof. There's no telling what your Moen faucet might outlast. Moen. Buy it for looks. Buy it for life.
When you're the eyes and ears of a million people, you can't let your stomach get in the way. So I carry Snickers.
Roasted peanuts, milk chocolate, caramel. Snickers satisfies.
Oh, Cliff, do you have a second? Sure. Listen, I know we're not getting the savings that you expected from our new long-distance company, but I have a solution here. We could go back to AT&T at a guaranteed competitive price. Thank you, Brian.
Cliff, I've solved our long-distance savings problems. Look, AT&T guarantees competitive prices.
Nice work, Danielle.
Cliff, just thought I'd be the first to show you this.
Thanks, Paul.
Switch to AT&T for guaranteed competitive prices. Call 1-800-COMPARE.
Hey, Cliff.
AT&T, for the life of your business.
Have you had your break today? We all need to get away. There's one place that's on your way. McDonald's is your break today. Have you had your break today? Easy does it McDonald's way. Taste the place of smiling days. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Have you had your break today?
Wayne Winfield and Ron Williams were two of the most heavily recruited high school kids in the country. Of course, it wasn't for their game. It was for their minds. And thanks to the Navy College Fund and the Montgomery GI Bill, they have a chance to really use them because they can earn up to $30,000 for college. So, even if the NBA isn't in their future,
I guess that's game.
A BA is. For more information, call 1-800-USA.
TBS invites you to come over at midnight.
Yo, what's up? This is Chuck D of Public Enemy. This is the house. That's right. We're in the house.
Live from the House of Blues this Friday at midnight Eastern with Chuck D and Public Enemy.
Check it out.
Only on TBS.
The Philadelphia 76ers have a half to get back into this ball game. And one more time, let's tell you, no major trades to report in the NBA. Back out to Vern and Chuck with the second half.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok.
What now? Who's Etienne?
Who cares? Come on.
Who's Etienne?
He's a camel repairman.
What?
He's a mechanic.
Etienne.
Hope he takes Visa. Oh, he does.
Visa Gold can get you cash more places worldwide than any other card, even American Express.
Etienne will fix everything.
Visa Gold.
Same amount of chicken this week? No, triple it. Oh, something going on?
Make sure we have lots of ranch dressing with bacon.
And how much Monterey Jack?
How much you got?
Now you're talking.
It's back. Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich. A whole breast filet Monterey Jack and creamy ranch with bacon. It's the sandwich everybody loves.
Dave, you think we have enough?
You're right. Order more.
Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich. Come and get it.
You got the winning color.
I change the oil every 3,000 miles or so. I've always used Pennzoil. It's a quality product.
Now with the revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts. Works like liquid ball bearings.
It's showtime, baby! Play Pennzoil Sport to the Final Four. Win one of 4 trips for 2 to the Final Four in 95 or 96. Over 86,000 other prizes. Get details where you buy Pennzoil. It'll be awesome, baby!
Business is the engine of society. Without it, there would be no jobs, no products, no competition, no advancements. Business is the engine of society. See how far it takes you. See how far it takes us all. This is the software that moves you forward.
We're getting ready for the start of the second half. Denver up by 20 at the half. That's not surprising given the number of injuries that Philadelphia comes into the game with. 4 players who are not able to participate tonight, and Denver helped by really a terrific first half from Reggie Williams. He was 7 of 7, and as a result, the Denver Nuggets are up by 20. Vern Lundquist along with Chuck Daly. No surprises, I would think, in the first half.
Not really. Wright and Barrows shooting 5 for 18. They really have to come up big if they're even going to stay in the game. But Denver getting out on the break, forcing turnovers, what they want to do in this particular game, but no surprises.
Denver shooting 53% in the first half, and 76ers struggling 15 of 45, 1/3 of their shots. The rebounding edge does go to the 76ers. Tim Perry had 10 of those rebounds. And the three-point field goals, here's where Dana Barris has struggled. He's 1 of 6 from three-point range. Denver 4 of 6. The one bright light, Sharon Wright, who went over Mutombo on this play.
Doesn't happen often. We showed it earlier. Right through Mutombo's hand. And here's a steal, and here comes Jalen Rose. He sees his man Reggie Williams on the right. Easy basket. They had breaks. This is an out-and-out bad pass. Easy steal, and another layup on the other end. Just too many fast breaks for the Denver Nuggets.
When the half came to an end? You ever done this?
No, I always win at least to the locker room. John's not sure he wants to go back there, but at some point you got to leave and go back and you know, live it with the troops.
He finally did after he chewed a little more on that gum. We began the third quarter, and on the floor now, Jeff Grayer, number 14, high for the 76ers with 12 points. From the corner, Willie Burton gets 2.
Good patience. Denver showing trap coming out of the half.
Reggie Williams, 7 of 7 in the first half. Here's Jalen Rose. Got it.
Nice post up.
60-40. Denver has to leave earlier tonight another back-to-back. They go to Seattle. That's not an easy trip, huh?
Yeah, they'll find out a lot more about their club tomorrow night in a foreign court against Seattle. A lot of players who played for Bernie Bickerstaff might want to give him a welcome home party.
60-42. And again, we told you that Philadelphia does get home tonight. They've got 3 more games on the road. Here's Raouf Mutombo, the tip. And Jeff Grayer.
Yeah, the 3 trips they got coming up are not plane trips, so they're all bus trips. That's one of the advantages that Philly has always had. They've got a lot of bus trips. That means, you know, you're going to be back in your own, you know, bed basically that night, because they go and come either the same day or the night before, but they do get home very quickly after the game. All easy bus trips.
Their games are at New York, then at Washington, and then at New Jersey.
Easy bus ride, really. The Washington ride a little bit further.
Reggie Williams by Willie Burton. That's his first miss. Gets the putback and his second miss. But Denver will throw it in.
You know, this is the time. If Philly could put something together, they might be able to get back in this game, because sometimes the club gets a nice lead and things don't happen. But Mahmoud makes sure right there and gets the 2.
And then stepped on John Lucas's shoes. 62-42. Grayer guarded by Jalen Rose. And there's another turnover. That's off Willie Burton. 10 turnovers in the ball game for Philadelphia.
Yeah, there's not a lot John can do tonight under these circumstances with so many of his key players out.
The Scott Williams injury last night certainly didn't help things. Malone is here, but not dressed. He's got a bad heel. Weatherspoon may be coming back shortly. They desperately need his rebounding. Here's the tumble underneath. And the ball taken away by Sharon Wright.
Now, Scott Williams, they say nothing showed up. There were no problems, but they did want to test it. They did an MRI today.
Well, we talked all night long. Here's the list of injuries. Weatherspoon with an ankle. Malone with a heel. Tyler, the stomach. Scott Williams, the knee. LaFonso Ellis. Brian Williams is not dressed tonight, by the way, because of a knee injury he sustained the other night. And Reggie Slater, unfortunately, a torn ACL. He's out for the rest of the year. Barnes, Weatherspoon. Dear John Lucas. Kevin Pritchard on the bench hasn't played tonight.
I tell you, might as well play Bradley. Let him foul out at this point. I don't see what.
Get their money's worth.
Yeah, what's the reason to save at this point? You got
saving him for the plane ride? I don't think so.
You got 21 minutes left. Let him work. If he fouls out.
Grayer with the double. Doesn't work.
No help. No help from the team defense. Got all the way to the hole.
We're getting perilously close to anecdote time. Tim Perry. Jeff Grayer. Rodney Rogers doing the defensive job at this moment. Rose comes to help and harasses him just enough. Now they chase down the loose ball. Rose can't get to it.
Both these clubs are a little bit careless with the ball. I think Bernie Bickerstaff, he's applauding his guys on because they were looking to run, but they can't make those kind of turnovers if they want to be a good ball club and move up the rankings and try to get in the playoffs later this year.
Sharon Wright, number 4. High post brings Mutombo out. Here's Dana Barros, 1 of 6, and every shot has been from 3-point range. Just before the shot clock, Jeff Grayer gets it.
Dana's got to try to get in the seam, try to create a little bit. They're just holding the ball going one-on-one against the 5-man team defense of the Nuggets, and that's not going to work.
Back it goes to, oh, what a dandy pass. And Rogers wasn't ready for it.
That was a great pass. Mutombo waited perfectly to give the ball to Reggie behind the back, and Rodney just dropped it. And it was a little bit of a surprise pass because it was his close quarters. Didn't expect to pass that particular time.
Pick and roll with Willie Burton. There's the switch defensively. Raouf has Burton. And all that leaves Dana Barros open. Raouf gets back, and Grayer's the open man. Nope. The tip no good. Sharon Wright.
That's the way to take it to Mutombo. If you're going to have a chance, go up and dunk it when you're that close to the basket.
Bernie Bickerstaff and the Nuggets have called time. 64-48, 7:45 to go in the third.
TBS NBA Thursday is brought to you by GMC Truck and by Dutch Boy Paints.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and to me. And there's no place that I'd rather be. Come on along and head for the mountains of Bushmere. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushmere.
For over 90 years, we've built a reputation for truck strength. Now we're adding a new dimension of even greater comfort. With the luxury of leather and a refined new interior, surrounded by all the strength you'd expect from GMC Truck, which may be the greatest comfort of all.
Sometimes you don't want to go to school. You want to go to some place that's going to make you happy. And if a friend's house is going to do that, then that's the best option for you at that time.
It makes it tough. Some days I get up, I don't want to go to practice. But what I'm thinking is, if I don't go to practice, when we play the New York Knicks and I'm not prepared, then I'm in trouble.
That's a job. School doesn't pay you anything.
You're right, but it takes preparation. It takes hard work. It takes all of the things associated with the job. The benefit of education doesn't necessarily come then. It comes later.
Nuggets up by 16. This, of course, is also the home of the Broncos, and their new head coach. Over to the left is Mike Shanahan enjoying the game.
Yeah, I think what we have here, we've got Shanahan here, over here. He's being recruited, and this guy is probably a guy from the Nuggets, one of their players.
If he's from the Nuggets, you got to scoop.
I'm not the Nuggets, I mean the Broncos, but these two guys are going to go out later, I think. Shanahan wants this guy to come play for him. That's a recruiting night.
That's the refrigerator's brother, well stocked. Mike Shanahan, the new head coach of the Broncos. Jalen Rose rejected by the 76ers. And a flying elbow. Sharon Wright caught Abdul Rauf and then leans down and apologizes for that. It was an errant elbow.
Yeah, he cut the lob, started to dribble out, and then pulled up, and his elbow caught Mahmoud, and he apologized for it, didn't mean it.
Brian Stith comes on for Rodney Rogers. Rose, Rauf, Williams, Mutombo, and Brian Stith. Brian Stith, as we said, was a starter. He's the captain of the team. And here's Mutombo.
76 is going to trapping in the half court and giving some easy shots to the Denver Nuggets. You know, Bernie Bickerstaff's got to be real happy about what's happened these two games, because anything he's putting into, whether it's good or bad, it's working, and that gives us confidence in what he's trying to say.
Or do jumper from Greer. You know, he came in and they beat the Clippers by 38 at home. The next day, most of these guys expected kind of a light shoot-around. They worked out for 2 hours, and then they ran suicide sprints at the end of the 2-hour workout.
Well, I think he's trying to Bernie's going to make a statement along with the fact that, he is signing the checks. It isn't like it's just a coach. He's the guy, president, general manager, and coach. So he's got a lot of say in what they do, and obviously they're going to get their money, but if they're going to stay here or not stay here.
Dikembe Mutombo, dragging at the end of those sprints, said, I need to talk to the general manager about what my coach is doing to me. That was the GMC scoreboard you just saw, and our score is 66-50. Here's Jalen Rose. Williams puts it up, has it rejected, and he's fouled. Denver last year after the All-Star break, 20-15, and that got them into the playoffs with a 42-40 mark, and then, of course, they made such a splash in the playoffs. Bickerstaff was saying when he was an assistant with the Bullets, they won the NBA title right with 43 regular season wins.
Yeah, and then they had some years when they were 59 and couldn't do anything. But this club is a little bit different because of Mutombo. They're a very dangerous club in the playoffs. Can they turn it around? Remains to be seen. The schedule is a factor, but if they can win at home, they've got a shot. But I think making the play is going to be very difficult for them the rest of this year.
Well, they're 6 back of the 8th place team right now, and just 30 games to go. Our score, of course, going the way of the Nuggets, 68-50 right now with 5:53. There's a heck of a game going on elsewhere, Orlando and Boston. Let's go back and get an update from Fred and Dick in our Atlanta studios.
Thank you very much, Fern. You're looking at the Hartford Civic Center. Orlando losing to the Boston Celtics right now, trying to hang on to the Celtics. Here's Chick Carey and Jack Gibbons.
An exasperated Brian Hill asks why there was no illegal defense called. Shaq says the same thing. Ellison disqualified from the game now. So Boston running out of big men. The question is, will the Magic run out of time? We're at the Hartford Civic Center. Here in Hartford, Connecticut, Boston has led throughout this ball game. 193 the score. Dino Radja with 25 points. Shaq had 28 for Orlando in the first half. Only 1 point since, with 7:35 to play in the game. And Eric Montross pulls away the rebound. Jack Gibbons, Chip Carey here in Hartford. These teams play again tomorrow night in Orlando, Florida. And Radja foul. Jeff Turner reaching around. Dino took a little exception to the extracurricular hold by JT. 7:22 left. Key in this game as well for Orlando is Boston shooting better than 50%. Horace Grant started at power forward, suffering from back spasms, not able to play for the final 3 quarters of this game as Douglas got there again.
Exact same play. A double team going down and Sherman Douglas making the cut right to the basket, and Brian Burns another timeout.
And without Horace Grant, there's been very little, if any, interior Orlando defense. Largest Boston lead.
And there you see the score of the Orlando Magic, which is 1-10 on the road when trailing after 3, threatening to lose again. Now let's go back to Denver.
All right, thanks, guys. 68-52 our score. 4:42 to go third quarter. Sean Bradley has checked back in, playing with 3 fouls and very few minutes in the first half. 8 minutes, as a matter of fact. Bradley guarded by Dale Ellis. Here's Willie Burton, and it's Brian Stith or Mutombo who picks up the foul. Coming up tomorrow night on TNT, Chicago with Scottie Pippen goes down to Miami, and will take on the Miami Heat. That's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Miami with new head coach Alvin Gentry playing at the Miami.
You know, once the trading deadline is over, you get a lot of players that are relieved, some are unhappy, but at least they know where they're going to be for the rest of the year, and they kind of get in camp, if there is such a word, you know, get involved in their team and say, hey, I'm going to take it out the rest of the year, and we're going to see where we go in this one. So I think we're going to see some playoff drives and that sort of thing, teams trying to move up in the standings and getting ready for playoffs, and we're going to see some very good basketball the rest of the year.
Lead has been cut to 14 here. It was 20 at the half. Brian Stith and Bradley in a wrestling match with Mutombo. Ellis gets the rebound and puts it in. .54, 4:10 to go, quarter number 3.
You know, you watch Bradley, you say, how do you get him involved offensively, defensively? And, you know, obviously they've got to be disappointed at the choice. They paid him a tremendous amount of money, but the money's not a factor. Where does he fit in? How does he stay on the floor? What can he do to try to help this organization get back on a winning track?
Got any ideas?
Well, one, he's got to eat a lot more food. He's got to get a lot stronger, and he's got to do the work in the summer. I understand they had to send a guy who worked on weights, a weight training coach, out to him last summer, rather than him staying in Philadelphia. He's got to become committed to 1, getting stronger, and 2, staying on the floor, and 3, helping out this basketball team. I think it's imperative if, in fact, this franchise is going to do anything.
Atlanta defeats Dallas tonight. That's the final. Illegal defense. This is the second call now against Denver, so Dana Barris will go to the free throw line. Where he is, by the way, one of the better free throw shooters. He dropped below 90% in the last couple of games. He gets the first here. He had has a chance to become one of the few players who shoot over 50% from the field and over 90% from the free throw line for a full season. Not there yet, but he has a chance.
He's got a lot of weight with his club, trying to learn, trying to carry the scoring load, trying to handle the ball, doing so much.
Well, you know, Bradley is the big disappointment. If Barris has got to be the very pleasant surprise for them, right?
Yeah, here's your 50-90 club. There's some pretty good company there. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. Larry did it twice, Magic once. Mark Price, Jeff Malone. Reggie Miller did it twice, and Dana Barros trying to do it this year. It'll be a major accomplishment with this club if he, in fact, can do it.
At the free throw line, Willie Burton. Reggie Williams coming back on the floor now. And he replaces Brian Still. Both free throws good. It's 72-57, a 15-point lead with 3:20 to go, third quarter. Raouf and Pack, Williams, Dale Ellis, and Mutombo. That's the quintet on the floor for Denver.
Mahmoud not having a good shooting night, but really able to free himself. He's so quick at coming off the screen, and they'll see more of him at the 2 spot. The problem is they go to Seattle tomorrow night, he'll have to go against a post-up guy at that 2 spot. It's going to make it pretty difficult, or he's going to have to play Payton, which is a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, exactly. Bradley with the miss, Bradley with the putback.
He just hang around there, not bad. He got Reggie Williams in the nose.
Reggie's had a tough night around the face. He got scratched in the eye in the first half. Here's Pack. And the foul is going to be called underneath. Let's go back and take a look at Sean Bradley.
Tipping the ball around. If he hangs around there, he's going to get some of those by accident. Tries to jump hook shot, doesn't go, but he hangs in there. Finally gets the tip.
2:32 to go, third quarter, time called.
Platoon leader after the game here on TBS.
At GMC Trucks, we built a reputation for truck strengths. A considerable advantage that also comes in this handy take-home size. Sierra from GMC Truck.
When you call collect, you're asking a favor. You're spending their dough. Hey, it's your family, your friends. So do them a favor and make sure they pay less. How? Know the code. 1-800-CALL-ATT. You'll always get AT&T, and it always costs less than 1-800-COLLECT. Dial it every time you make a collect call. After all, it's how you'd want them to call you.
Want a price that's always lower than 1-800-COLLECT? Know the code. Dial 1-800-CALLATT.
Your true voice.
It's not just how you play the game. It's how you call for the ball.
Come on, baby, I got him. Give me the rock, baby. We got him. For the road. Yeah. Ah! Milk and honey, baby. Come on, hit me on. Ah! Yeah. Woo!
If you're talking my game,
You don't know, you better ask somebody.
you're talking Foot Locker.
Don't tell anybody, but the little guy's a 76ers fan.
They need some help here.
They're struggling right now, and before the game, Chuck talked with John Lucas about what their needs are in order to turn this thing around.
We've got to do better homework. We've got to start talking to our players' mothers. Most of our players don't have fathers that come in our league, so we've got to find a way to talk and address it and find out the character of the players coming in our league. And then we've got to continue to build. The second part we got to do is make sure the teaching on the college level is being done. You know, some of these guys are coming out so early, they don't have the fundamentals yet. And that's one of the things they tell they got the talent, but not the fundamentals. And then we have to do a lot more teaching. And you can't be just a coach in these days. You got to be a social worker, a mother, a father, a brother, along with the X and O's.
A coach, the president, general manager. It's a lot of hats to wear.
Too many?
Yes, by far too many.
74-59. Both of these fellas on the respective benches wearing 3 hats. Back it goes to Bradley. The putback is good.
At least he's getting involved in the game offensively, and if he can stay around the basket, he can make some things happen.
Abdul Rauf. Back to Robert Pack. Along with Mutombo, Dale Ellis now, and Tom Hammonds has come on the floor during the timeout. Where's number 21? 2 minutes to go, quarter number 3. Tommy Hammonds. Boy, his work ethic is terrific.
Yeah, he's always been that way. Really works. Not going to get a lot of minutes here, but significant minutes. They've got a pretty full roster right now, even though Ellis is out up front. But he could be a valuable player. Very athletic.
Burton misses on the jump hook. At the other end, here's Pack. John Lucas wants a 20-second timeout. Abdul Rauf with the feed. Robert Pack with the basket. And quickly, the Nuggets back out by 17 at 78-61. There's Gene Littles in the middle of the Denver pack. He was the interim coach after Dan Issel decided to resign as the head coach. Yeah, and I don't think Gene's upset with the turn of events at all.
Not at all. He sounded very, very relieved of that. Went in his office. Everything was in place. He's very happy at what he's doing. He had no ambitions to be the head coach at this point.
90 seconds to go, quarter number 3, 78-61. Well, this one a 17-point game. Sacramento's in the Garden tonight to play the New York Knicks. Let's go back to Atlanta, and Fred and Dick will bring us up to date on that one.
Thank you, Vernon. Chuck, under 4 minutes to play in New York. Sacramento trying to win there for the first time in 12 years. Right now, Marv Albert and John Andres take it home.
That is his third. He's 3 of 4 from three-point land and has given the club a lift with 11 points. In particular with John Starks having difficulties, not shooting well. 0 for 9 from three-point land. Here's Richmond. It's Richmond. Not shooting well tonight. He is 5 of 16. Marv Albert with John Andres from the Garden. Our producer, the electronic wizard, Howie Singer. Our director, Bob Lewis. We're down to 3:01 remaining in this fourth quarter, and the Knicks have a 10-point lead. That's the stat line on Starks, only 2 for 13 overall.
Fortunately, with some depth and good play by Hubert Davis, the Knicks are not suffering now because of that. But they are being hurt by the rookie Brian Grant, now playing his second night in a row after a tough game in Charlotte last night. Grant playing with tremendous energy, bothering the Knicks, taking up a lot of space.
Grant with 17, Richmond the high man for the Kings with 19, and Patrick Ewing with a tremendous all-around performance. 36 points. That's 2 under his season high. Charles Smith, who got off to the strong start for Patrick Ewing. And Olden Polynice able to save it. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the fourth. Here is Grant. Good hustle by Richmond, and tied up. Ewing with the tie-up on Richmond.
Oh, Richmond thought he cleared that ball and owned it. But how about the job he did battling Smith and Ewing to get that ball from the bigger people? Richmond, one of the NBA's outstanding rebounders from the guard position. Look at his aggressiveness in pursuit of that basketball.
Knicks controlling. Knicks have won the last 5 meetings, 10 of the last 11 against the Sacramento Kings, and try to bounce back from the poor performance against Cleveland here on Tuesday. Again, it's Hubert Davis. That's his 4th from downtown.
All right, that's the story in New York, but right now the Denver Nuggets are still trying to put the wood to the Philadelphia 76ers. Let's head back out to Vern and Chuck in Denver.
Fred, they're doing a pretty good job out here. 78-63 in the final 30 seconds of quarter number 3. The lead at 15. Robert Pack, Reggie Williams, Dale Ellis are going to do 1-4 here.
Set up the top. Pack's going to try to take him off the dribble.
Oh, Greg Graham gets the steal and then loses it.
Had the breakaway layup.
And we're just under 14 seconds remaining, quarter number 3.
John Lucas looking up the clock saying, will this thing ever end?
Williams beats the buzzer. Basket won't go. Hammonds. Bradley with the rebound. That will not count. We've reached the end of 3, and the Denver Nuggets still lead it. Philadelphia cut that lead by 5 points, but it's 78-63. Denver's up, sellout crowd.
For over 90 years, we've built a reputation for truck strength. Now we're adding a new dimension of even greater comfort. With a luxury of leather and a refined new interior, surrounded by all the strength you'd expect from GMC truck, which may be the greatest comfort of all.
In the preseason, my back hurts. My arms hurt. My legs hurt. My brain hurts. Even my teeth hurt. But come the regular season, it's all worthwhile. Because I get to hurt right back.
The car on the right was filled with Castrol Syntec, a full synthetic oil, the other with conventional oil. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oil. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't. Now, buy a case of Castrol Syntec and get an officially licensed NBA ball.
There's a place where UV rays beat down so mercilessly they're nearly twice as intense as the sun's. No, it's not some blazing spot in the equator. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we test our exterior house paints to make sure they resist fading, blistering, and peeling. It's one of over 75 tests we do to make sure that when you buy Dutch Boy, you're not just getting a paint that looks beautiful. You're getting a paint that lasts. We guarantee it. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
We're back at McNichols Arena, where they sold 17,171 tickets for tonight's game. A few folks decided to give those tickets away, but it is listed as a sellout. Vern Lundquist, Chuck Daly, and the Nuggets up by 15.
Denver's going to use this last quarter. They're in command of the game. They'll use it to work on their execution, because Bernie Bickerstaff's new career starts in the next game.
Not this one.
Not this one.
That 3 is good. It's 81-63. Dale Ellis with 13 points. Dana Barris has really been held in check tonight. Robert Pack is doing the defensive job on him right now. Sean Bradley stays on the floor. Here's Sharon Wright, number 4, over Livingston. Rebound, Reggie Williams. Robert Pack has it. 81-63. Ellis for 3. Wright with the rebound.
Let's see if Philadelphia can get into something rather than just go one-on-one and try to work to get a good shot, either off a screen. They need something like a passing game at this point. Get everybody moving, everybody involved. More of an opportunity offense rather than try to keep going to post-ups, which are not being very successful.
Blocked by Bradley, or rather the rebound from Hammonds. And Pack got another one. Timeout.
John Lucas says, I had enough of this one.
Leads back to 20. That's where it was at the half, when the Denver Nuggets ended the first half on a 17-4 run. Pack gets this one.
Bulls versus Heat, Friday night at 8 on
TNT.
From beneath the basket, the corner. Wow, a slam dunk.
I can do that. Really? I could. Of course, I'm not quite the leaper I used to be. Time though, Chip, please. Eagle smash. What you feed your face?
Quality to some people when it comes to pens means it writes smoother. It doesn't skip. It doesn't leak in my fingers. I know when people buy our pen that I'm not going to be embarrassed. They're not going to be disappointed.
I'm
Ahmad Rashad here, hitting the streets to find out what people like about Inside Stuff. What's the best thing about it? I love rewind. Highlights. The dunks. All the information about it. What do you like about Inside Stuff?
Jam session.
Jam session, my favorite part of the show. Oh, I love Willow B, man.
What's the key to this show? Why is it so good?
You know why? Why? He's the best. Hey, there you go.
NBA Inside Stuff is the coolest show on TV.
It's fact. You gotta watch it. There you have it, NBA Inside Stuff. Get with the program. Watch the show.
You know, working at AutoZone is more than just looking up parts or ringing up sales. Most of all is listening. Because my customers know more about their cars than I'll ever know. They know every rattle by heart. I mean, that car is their baby. So when they got a problem they're going to fix themselves, I'm going to do my best to help them get whatever they need, no matter what it takes. Because people like that, they don't deserve anything less than the best I can give them.
Time now for tonight's Dutch Boy in the paint. The block shots, the Nuggets lead there 8-4. Rebounds 41-31 76ers.
You know, that's a little bit of a surprise in this game, the fact that they're leading in the rebound.
Speaking of in the paint, this guy during the timeout. I recognize that posture. He's looking for an airplane ticket.
And he's listening in the crowd.
And he found it.
Helps him.
Sharon Wright. Robert Pack has it now. Bernie Bickerstaff said when he plays in control, he's a terrific addition to this offense.
His biggest problem is he turns the ball over too much, particularly in close games becomes a problem, but he's a very aggressive player and a very difficult player to play against.
Reggie Williams, 7 of 7 in the first half, a little more difficult in this half. Nuggets up by 20 with 9:45 to go. Orlando and Boston playing tonight in Hartford. Here, Fred and Dick with an update.
Thank you very much, Vern. The Celtics trying desperately to hang on in this last minute and a half. Let's pick up the action with Chip Terry and Jack Givens.
Here with the game still very much in doubt.
Big call there by Bryant. And the other thing with Brooks is you get a guy that can shoot the three-point shot. So while he is very inexperienced, particularly in key minutes, he gives Bryant two options, a guy that can run the offense and then a guy that can shoot the three-point shot.
There's your score. Boston by 4. Penny Hardaway's just fouled out of the game for the Magic. Horace Grant out with back problems, as is Bryant Shaw. Anderson makes it a two-point game here. 1:17, 1:15, a minute 20 left. Thompson guards Sherman Douglas.
Thompson's big job right now is to keep Sherman Douglas out of the paint. You know the problem the Magic point guards have had in this ball game, keeping them out of the painted area.
Here's D. Brown against Anderson. Rogers had a monster game. Faces up Shaq, a minute to play. Tino Raja. He's smacked, no call. McDaniel fall away. Oh, baby. What a shot by the X-Man. 14 second half points, and the Magic take another timeout.
The Boston Celtics refusing to go away in this ball game despite Orlando charging hard late. Now let's get back out to Vern Lundquist and Chuck Daly, the Denver Nuggets and the Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay, Fred, while you were at the Hartford Civic Arena, Denver went up by 2 more. It's 85-63. There's Greg Graham missing on the jumper, and the Nuggets come down with a rebound. Tom Hammonds kicks it back out to Robert Pack. Got 2 more.
Playing very aggressively, getting to the basket, really pushing the ball and attacking all night long.
At the other end, Greg Graham's going to go to the free throw line. Bring you up to date on what has happened statistically in the ball game thus far. The Nuggets 24-8 in the last 8 minutes of the first half. That put them up by 20 at the half. And the field goal percentage is still the same for Philadelphia, 33, that it was at the half. No bench points to speak of because they don't have much of a bench to speak of.
No, so many people injured. We've talked about it earlier, but you know, credit to Nuggets. They played very aggressively. They've gotten a lot of steals, and they've gotten a lot of fast breaks, easy baskets, which is one of the things that they want to work toward. And I think it's going to help their club not only the rest of this year, but next year if they go into the next season thinking along those lines.
8:35 to go in this one. Robert Pack with another. Oh, my goodness.
What a game he's having. was sitting down for about 4 or 5 games. He's come back with a vengeance over the last 2.
13 points tonight off the bench. And that was a really impressive move. At the other end, a jump ball. Robert Pack. Listen to him go to the basket. He went right at Brett. That's 6'2", going at 7'6". They just replayed it here on the large screens at McNichols Arena. And the crowd in attendance began to buzz. Robert Pack. And now the crowd will applaud him. And his coach. And his general manager. And the president. Kevin Pritchard's come on the floor now. Number 11, his first action tonight. One-time Kansas player. He's out of the CBA as well. First appearance this evening. Where's number 11? Tom Hammonds.
They're just doing anything they want at this time. It's one of those games where
Kevin Pritchard guarded by Jalen Rose. Willie Burton